Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state utilizing tarot to help us navigate these very interesting times we've got going on here in the United States. So, welcome, and I really appreciate you being here. The focus of today's reading is going to be the next 100 days. We just finished up the last 100, the first 100 days. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to look at the next 100 days. I'm going to link this video in the description. And what came up in my YouTube feed was somebody had asked Chat GPT what the next 100 days of Trump is going to be like. So I made some notes here. As I said, I don't want to go too far into it, but I will link the video if that is something that interests you. So what ChatGPT had to say was more of the same, but expect more whistleblowers and leaks. There's going to be more crazy. Some of this I'm really summarizing. So that more crazy, they didn't quite say it like that. So, but the summary, my interpretation and summary was just expect more crazy, but also expect more resistance from the public, the courts, and Congress. That surprised me that ChatGPT said Congress. And his approval rating is going to continue to drop. It said like well into the low 30s. And so, so that was Chat GPT. We're going to do what does Tarot say for the next 100 days? And some of the things that, to start off these next 100 days, that Sunday interview, he doesn't know if he needs to uphold the Constitution. And then all just the whatever thought popped into his brain and he shit that out on the socials on Sunday, he wants to open Alcatraz. He wants the NFL draft to be on the DC Mall. He's now going to tear films that are made overseas. I mean, it's like whatever thought happens to wander across his brain right now, it just gets, shit out there. It's just like thrown to the wind and stuff. So what I want to do is I want to do a base reading on the next 100 days. And then some of that we're going to I'm probably going to be, asking some more specific questions, especially as it relates to the tariffs, the gutting of the federal government, those two things. I want to know about deportations, but I'm going to put that into a second video because there's some other stuff going on with that I want to look at. So Chat GPT had its video, so now we're going to have the Liberal Tarot video of what is the next 100 days going to look like with Trump. As always, this is for entertainment purposes only. The next 100 days. What all can we expect? Okay, 100 days. What can we expect from Trump? Just a base reading. Okay, the here and now, the heart of this is... that's interesting that restrictions comes up. I wasn't really expecting that. I wonder if this is like we're going to have the courts are putting more restrictions on him. So there's like restrictions around hopefully the crazy. We got restrictions coming up. So let's see what else comes up. I'm hoping this isn't restrictions against the people. We know that the tariffs are coming up. The tariffs are here, and seeing the empty shelves, people, are the money that we have, that economy restricting. So let's see what else is coming up. So the heart of it right now is restrictions. The challenge is money. Okay, so this is going to be our economy. These next 100 days is, and it's going to also security. So right now, this is like the difficulties that we're going to have in the economy. That's going to be the heart of these next 100 days. Options, Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so at any point we can stop this crazy train. Okay, but even if the crazy train were to stop today, it's still going to take, 3 to 6 months easily to get the supply chain, going again. I know that reporting is that companies should be making those orders now for Christmas, and they're not. That's a problem. So the longer these tariffs go on, the further those orders get pushed back. And so, like you hear about Christmas in July, it may be Christmas like in July 2026 before we ever get through, before these tariffs stop. So that is, when are we going to get off the crazy train? That's what I'm feeling with this. Our past experiences, more of Mad King Don. This is the foundation of this is we are at the whim of whatever, I've been saying, some of the stuff that he tweeted out, it's just like, are you kidding? Like, what did you do? Fart and sneeze at the same time? And this is what, you shit out. I mean, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And I know that the 25th Amendment is going to be something that I'm going to be asking about probably pretty soon. Yeah, our recent influences, we've been seeing the smash and grab of our government. We've been seeing, this, just the basic, the basic, what's the words I'm looking for? I'm sorry, just went blank. Definition for this card, is the fox is in the hen house. So we've seen this, and I think that there's even more that we haven't seen. It's like they've done so much, and as more of that news comes out, I wonder if this will be more whistleblowers that we have even coming out. And the reason I'm saying that is because of these swords here. Is like, we didn't quite get everything. There's still some stuff left. So are we going to start seeing more of that? We've started seeing some of that. Are we going to see more? And the outcome for this is our country. What kind of country are we going to have in these next 100 days? Okay. I'm going to put some clarifiers out on that. Just 3 cards on this Empress. What is it that we need to know about the future of our country in these next 100 days? And with that, very quickly, something that was disappointing and new messages and new beginnings. As I'm sitting here looking at this and looking, stepping back, I wonder if the restrictions, if he isn't going to be the one restricted. Like the courts come out, like the restrictions are around him for, like a new beginning for our country. Like the Wheel of Fortune, karma, finally comes back around, and he is kind of, as I said, the restrictions. I'm not seeing removed, I'm seeing restrictions, and you get for our country, like for the betterment of our country. Like this needs to quickly come to a stop because I'm going to be like, what is this? What exactly is these restrictions? Okay. And I'm looking at this 8 of Swords here. Just a little bit more on these restrictions. Are these restrictions against Trump or the or the American people? Because that could go either way. Who are these restrictions? And that's really kind of the crossroads that we're at right now when you think about it. We're at the whim of this just, crazy. And so what is going to happen here? So that's kind of the whole point of doing the readings. So this 8 of Swords, what is this restrictions? It's around our economy. I think we're going to start seeing definitely seeing the economy shrink. We're seeing those, what's happening, they've gutted the government. And this is going to be more of that. Restrictions around money, the fighting, his approval ratings are going to continue to drop. And they're, MAGA there, the ardent supporters are going to just stay there with him. But even they, I think, are starting to see, I don't have as much money as I used to have. Let me, go check in on your 401ks. Go check in on, how much groceries cost. So that's what this is like. The restrictions, I think, are going to be further our economy, and he's going to continue losing support. And it's whenever, he starts losing that support is when Congress finally gets a spine, if from previous readings, and they're the ones that are going to act. And what's interesting, I was so surprised whenever ChatGPT in that video had said Congress could act. And it's like, what? Congress is going to act? So let's just, in these next 100 days, is Congress going to act? I mean, like in a good, positive way to help our country. Let's clarify that even further. Is Congress going to act in a way that is responsible for our country? You know, are they going to, actually, let's think about that in a serious way. Are they going to restrict Trump? That's a good way. Is Congress going to restrict Trump? Like in a meaningful way, not just filing, articles of impeachment. This is just an example. Like articles of impeachment have been filed. It's not expected to go anywhere, but like, is Congress going to act in a meaningful way that actually restricts him, not just, more of a, is it going to mean something? Okay. Are they actually going to do something to put a stop to this, curtail him, restrain him in some way? Are they going to vote for that? Let's see here. And as far as that restriction, Ten of Pentacles. This is also going to be, tens are you've arrived. This is we've achieved what it is that we wanted to achieve. And so this can be, we're looking at the economy, and that is where, there's so much horrendous that's going on, but it's the economy that's really going to get people. When you start messing with people's money and security, that's when you're going to get really upset people. So I asked, are they going to do anything about this? Congress is absolutely hearing from their constituents, okay, and more so, and those calls are growing. Okay, so, and the fighting, the bickering, the angry constituents. Okay, so 5calls.org, 5, just the number 5, CALLS.org. Okay, makes it super easy. All you have to do is put in your, zip code. You might have to put in your address, and it gives you your elected officials at the federal level. And sometimes there's state things on there too, and you can click, and they've got scripts and stuff. Anyway, check out 5 Calls. It's a great resource for the resistance. So Congress doing something. The heart of this is their constituents. The challenge is going to be the constituents are not happy. That is not going away anytime soon. The options that Congress has. You saw me shuffle. They could stop the crazy train anytime. Oh, look, which one is this? Oh, that's Abby. Come here, Ab. That's my cat, Abby. And if you wonder why I said which one is this, it's because we've got 3 tabbies. Not by... The cat redistribution system blessed us with 3 tabbies. And now she's going to lay right here. You going to lay right there? Maybe. Yeah. I've already fed you. Okay, so with... Okay, Ab, seriously. Yep. Keep going. Okay, well, you can lay right here. If you're going to lay down, you can lay right here. Come here. Hey. Right here. Okay, so, yes, Congress. Sorry, we're going to just take a little cat break. That's nice for everybody to have. Just a nice deep breath with Abby time. Yeah. Aw. This cat, she's so funny. She's very specific about when she's pet. Like when it's outside pet time, you just can't pet her. But whenever it is pet time, she's just like, oh, that feels so good. And she chose this moment right here and right now for it to be pet time. Yeah, you did. Okay, and you're shedding. Okay. Enough cat time. Go. Okay. Thank you for indulging that. She's a sweet cat. Okay, so Congress, back to Congress instead of cats. They could stop this crazy train at any time. Past experiences. Once again, they could stop this at any time, and they know they can. At any time, making that decision to put a stop to this. I wonder if this is also, they're seeing the courts. This could be the courts, like the past experiences as they see these courts ruling against him. Those moderate Republicans in the swing districts, they have got to see that this is, the courts are even saying everything he's doing is wrong. So, yes, please, do something, Congress. Recent influences are, Page of Wands messaging. Okay, the moderate Republicans need for this to be politically advantageous for them in order to actually do something. Wow. They would rather hold on to power than do what needs to be done right now. And that's the entire, Republican Party. However, you do get the moderate Republicans are going to be the first ones that start crossing the aisle there. So we are going to and we have been seeing that a little bit so far. So the outcome is we're going to see that in a bigger way. Okay, the Lover's card here. Two sides coming together for a greater good. And this is something that is very, common good, common passion, our country. So, yeah, I would expect as the protests grow, as the courts continue ruling against him, as more people call those moderate Republicans who have already started to, I'm not going to say sound the alarm. They've started to speak out. Lisa Murkowski probably was the closest that came to it sounding the alarm, saying, we're terrified. Well, okay, Lisa, so we all are. Okay, so do something. Stop the crazy train. Wheel of Fortune is just what goes around comes around. A lot of times it's a good luck card. This is ruled by Jupiter. So this is also like right now, even though it's scary times, just know that, better times are ahead once they put a stop to this. And it looks like they are. So Trump's next 100 days, is he still going to be in office? Let's just ask that. Is he still going to be in office in the next 100 days? Is he still going to be in office in the next 100 days? Okay, him being in office. Two of Wands, looking out into the future. Okay, this is two sides coming together, two people talking, two groups talking, but it's talks looking out into the future. Okay, I was doing a reading just for myself here, looking at tariffs, and I saw this of no ships coming in. So anyway, so talking. Is he still going to be in office? Congress. They're talking about it in Congress. And the reason I see the King of Pentacles as Congress is because they control the purse. Okay, they control the money, or they're supposed to. Moving forward, how are we going to move forward? This should be in a more balanced approach. Right now, you don't have a healthy Republican Party. Okay, the Democrats are figuring it out. They're finally starting to kind of, get together. And I love that it's people are rallying around the progressive branch of the Democratic Party. And so you get I think that what I'm seeing is a car with, one half, deflated tire, which is the Democratic Party. We're figuring it out. And then the Republicans, if they even have a tire, I think that tire fell off, down the roadway a few miles back. So this is needing a balanced approach. And I think that we are going to get it. Okay. Past experiences is fool. This is Trump. He's a fool. Okay. This is also those past experiences. We could have had a completely different path that we could be on right now. We could have had Kamala Harris as president. Okay. Now, one thing, and I actually, let me pull this up. I've thought about this a lot. It's what would it have been like had we had Kamala Harris as president? And we can sit there and think about all the good and wonderful, and it would have been great. However, we still would have had that maggot nonsense that we would have to be dealing with. So because those who do not listen must feel, all of us are having to go through this lesson of, why we should never be Trumpers. Okay. And, people may say, oh, you just have Trump derangement syndrome. And I'm like, I'm not the one that wore a freaking Kotex pad on my ear, And so, and I like to say I was OG, because I remember I was in middle school, early 80s, and seeing him on TV going, ew, he is just nasty. He's gross. And I remember going, why is he on TV? So, it's gone back for a long time. So this is the crazy's been there. everybody knew this. So let's see. I will continue. Is he still going to be here in 100 days? Once again, this King of Wands, this somebody is heading this up. Somebody is, and it could be just the Democratic Party is saying, we're here waiting for you, we're waiting for you. As soon as you're ready, we're ready. Also, okay. And so that is recent influences. That if you heard that noise, that was Abby knocking. I don't even know what she knocked off the table. So, anyway. Messages, those articles of impeachment have already been filed. However, we need both of them together to do this. We need both parties that come together to be able to do this, to have the votes. Okay. And the potential is they're working on it. Okay. The potential is cat hair everywhere up here now too. Okay. So the potential is, I don't know that I see a lot of support for Congress here in order to take care of this. I wonder if there's something else. And if all roads lead to the Tower card, I keep getting there's these starts of things that would bring this to an end. But then whatever that Tower card is that happens, it's after that, everything that takes center stage. So Congress may start this, but is he in 100 days? And with that, making plans, people rejoicing over, what has happened. And this is people, we could be, I hope this is us rejoicing, not MAGA. You get blue here, usually, what is it? The page of Pentacles is the red hat. This is going to be my blue hat. So this would be the Democrats are rejoicing because of long-term planning that has now come to fruition. So, the next 100 days, this could get, let's hope Congress. And I was asking about Congress. The Democrats are absolutely ready to remove him. Okay. So, the next 100 days, it looks like it's just going to be more of everything. There's, the tariffs are still, at any point, this could stop. And that's what's so interesting. I'm doing these readings, and it's at any point, it could stop. And so that's what we're waiting on. We're waiting for it to stop. And as I said, it looks like, yes, Congress, it's you've got the courts, you have the protests, and you have Congress. And Congress should be leading this, but they're not. They're relying on the courts and the people first. But I do, and I've consistently got that the moderate Republicans will step up and they will put a stop to this. I also think that there's something more explosive that's going to be coming out. I have no idea what that is. I don't know. I've asked 100 different ways, and I don't know what it is. But we will all know absolutely when it happens. So it won't keep me from continuing to ask. So I will keep doing these readings, and we'll just hang in there and we'll get through it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Check out some of my other readings and also subscribe. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the next reading. Have a good day.